Welcome back, everyone, to the Oakland Women's Basketball Notebook. My name is Neal Ruhl, broadcast voice of the Golden Grizzlies. And as usual, we're joined by women's basketball head coach Jeff Tungate. And Jeff, in what seems like a whirlwind, the season is underway for you guys. A couple of games under your belt, a game against Michigan, a game against Toledo, a couple of games where the scoreline wasn't, I know, what you wanted it to be. You know, these are some unique times that we're playing through right now. And I think that, the main message is the same. And Jeff, look, we have to kind of be careful with the way we dance around this. Certainly, I know on your end, you're a prideful guy, but I'll say it for you because I'm living it too. Is the bottom line is when you don't get to practice, you don't get to lift weights. These are not excuses. These are factual things that are happening. I mean, you don't really know what you have when you step out on that basketball court and got your season going. Did you? 100%? You didn't know, did you?
No, I mean, yesterday was our first day we've lifted weights since October 28th. Yesterday was our first 5-on-5 practice we've had since November 3rd. So, it is what it is. And the fact that our kids have an opportunity to play, I think is the most important thing. And I think it's great for them to step foot on the court. And in a weird way, more important than winning and losing this year is getting to 12 games, because you have to have 12 games to qualify for the conference tournament. And if you don't go to the conference tournament, you're not going to the NCAA tournament. So, more important than winning and losing, we got to do whatever we can to get to 12. And, and that's not a guarantee that you're going to get there to 12. But, the fact that, everybody's going through this, it's not just our team. I mean, we missed 8 weeks in the summer, but we're not the only team to do that. We're coming off a 14-day quarantine and had 6 practices before Michigan with 8 players. I mean, but we're not the only team that's going through that. At some point in the year, almost every team's going to go through that. And I think you're going to see a lot of games where scores are going to be unpredictable. You have no idea who's going to win because you don't know the situation leading up to the game. It's 2020. It is what it is.
And you talk about things that are unpredictable. I'll lead off with something that's very predictable, and that's Kaliyah Dean had a dozen points against Michigan, preseason Horizon League, second-team performer. In a world of uncertainty, she's very certain.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to have a great year for us, and I know she's really been practicing well, and I mean, she's only going to get better with time and as each game goes on. So, she's one that we know exactly what we're going to get day in and day out. And, she can play at both ends of the floor. She does a great job of pressuring the ball in our defense. And, obviously she can create her own shot and knock down the three and get to the rim and things like that. So she's a special player. And, I know the more practice time she has now as well, she's just going to continue to get better.
In the game against Toledo, you guys were running neck and neck with the Toledo Rockets coming down the stretch. Toledo did end up getting that win, but you look at Lana Blackwell. I know that you have to be happy, not just the points. I mean, coaches don't get caught up in point totals and those types of things, but to see her come out and play at that level, because that was a next level performance that she had, and probably just scratching the surface of what it's going to be.
Well, Lana, last year was a great shooter. This year, she's a great shooter and can get to the rim and does she's really added to her game, and she's getting more and more confidence on the defensive end too. So she's becoming more of a complete player. We always knew she could shoot. She had the ability to get to the rim, but she's really becoming a complete player now, and she's playing with a lot of confidence, which is great to see. And she had a really, really good game against Toledo.
You guys this week have Chicago State, a game against them. And, Jeff, it's interesting because I knew it when you said it. I mean, I knew it. You look around and you see what's going on, but to hear you verbalize it and to say, hey, this is the magic number of games we have to get to, it's weird to, the performance doesn't quite matter as much as you said, is just getting the game in. That will be the biggest victory this week, just getting the game in against Chicago State, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're 11-0 at the end of the regular season, you're not going to the conference tournament. So, I mean, you got to get to 12. So getting that game in means everything to everybody because the NCAA set the number at 13 and conference tournaments count as 1. So that's why we have to get to 12. And so, every team around the country has to get to that magic number of 13, 12 plus a conference tournament. Or if there's no conference tournament, you got to get to that magic number. So getting the game in is important. And we're getting tested 6 times a week with the new things in Michigan right now that are going on. It was 3 times a week, but with the governor's order, now we're up to 6 times a week getting tested. So, I know our players are, I don't know if that's a test you ever get used to, but they're getting it 6 times a week, and Chicago State has to have it 6 times a week in order to come to play. So there's a lot of factors that go into playing the game. And it's nice when the actual ball goes up and you see all the referees here and both teams here. It's kind of a relief to see that the game is going to be played.
Well, Jeff, now that you are getting to practice, what are some of the things that you're focusing on leading up to this Chicago State game as far as actually on the court? We're not talking about test or COVID or anything like that. On the court, between those four lines, what you do for a living.
Yeah, I mean, we just need more repetition. I mean, getting our offense going. There's times against Toledo and even against Michigan, I thought our offense looked really well, and we just got to get more repetition on the offensive end and doing what we do there. And we just need more repetition on the defensive end. Obviously, we've got some things that, we had 3 baseline out of bounds play, 1 sideline out of bounds play going into those games. So we got to, expand on what we're doing there. With the situation normally, by this time of year, we'll have 20, 25 set plays in. Right now we have 5, so we've got to put a few more sets in leading up into league play. So, we're spending our time the next, leading up to the UIC game on December 12th, really focusing on kind of getting caught up with everything from repetition on the offensive end, repetition on the defensive end, beginning our full package in that we like to have by that first conference game. So, it's going to be get our conditioning back, learning curve of trying to get our things in so we can have our full package by the time we play UIC.
Well, it's 240 hours away, Jeff. So, I mean, you're not getting a lot of time to spare with it. So I'm very, very grateful that you chose to carve out some time right now to talk to us, and we'll be catching back up with you.
Neal, it's great to see you. And, like I said, we're so thankful to be playing, and we're looking forward to Friday's game.
Absolutely. So for women's basketball coach Jeff Tungate, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.